Ahoy everyone, it's Jeff, aka Godless Scummer. So I just thought I'd just do a little impromptu live stream, bit of a hangout today as Chris's show Six Packs on hiatus. So welcome everyone who's just come from Jen's stream. We've got Jen is here, although I think Jen is just putting a top
Jen's
on.
here.
So Jen is
Jen also went to get a drink and a bit of chocolate because I'm cold and I'm
hungry.
We've got Davros here as well. Okay, first thing, I'm just gonna get this out of the way now. Just for the benefit of the mods in the chat. And just to address what's I'm gonna put myself full screen a second for this, but just to address something quickly. As some of you may know, I did a little video calling out a couple of transphobic Christian bigots a couple of weeks ago. One of whom I did give an opportunity to, should we say, maybe get himself out from the hole he dug himself. But unfortunately, that person, Otangelo, has decided to dig an even deeper hole for himself. And of course, I've decided he's no longer welcome around my channel or my live chats or anything. So if he shows up, or if any of the other arsehole Darth Dawkins or any of his minions show up, instantly kick them. They're not welcome. So I just want to decide I'm getting that out of the way now, just so you all know. Because I expect them to I kind of half expect them to like come in once they see I'm streaming, because they got nothing fucking better to do. So just see who's in the chat. Got Steve Jones, welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, mate.
Just in case anybody was wondering, I'm amazed that doesn't get picked up by my green screen.
I've never been to a smaller channel. How my obnoxious comments aren't noticed on FTFE, etc. So I'll try to be a bit fair enough. He's from that other part of Down Under, the civilized part that
the civilized.
I'm
from the civilized part.
Oh, the part you two come from.
I couldn't say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
Oh, but I can.
We
speak the Queen's English down here. Yes. I tell you what.
Yeah, I must say. Davros, shall we go for a dance?
Oh, look, I like to dance at the castle, yes.
Yeah, well, we'll take the corgis for a walk afterwards.
So we've got Granny's here. We've got Nikki, Linda, good to see you. Sandy, good to see you. Claire, Virillion. I think that's everyone.
I'm sorry, Sandy, and I'm sorry to anybody who arrived late to my stream. I screwed up the time zones when I posted the original tweets. So I'm sorry, but this was always actually the intention to start on my channel, then come across to Jeff's and do a nice night fill in for the 6-pack, but I messed up the times.
Yeah.
But at least everyone's here for Jeff's stream, which is awesome. And if you want to see the bit of fun we had earlier, you can always go back and watch it later.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought I'd get that out of the way about Otangelo and that lot. So, because just they are not welcome around here anymore.
Speaking of which,
Darth wasn't welcome around here anyway. But you know,
yeah, because he's a twat. But speaking of which, has Raging Atheist been able to get hold of Otangelo for that conversation that he has to have? Because if Otangelo doesn't have that conversation with Raging,
is this a private? Is this a private?
Yeah, it was going to be. Yeah,
I don't know if
Raging wanted to.
There was a live stream which Raging and there was Rage. I think Math Pig was there. I think Avon, Sassy's other half. I'm trying to remember. There was a number of people there, and Otangelo came in, and let's just say this: he was given every opportunity to get himself out of the fucking hole he's dug for himself here, and he just doubled down and dug a even deeper hole. And people were only just asking him as the simple question, like, look, you know, what was your motive? Just explain the thought process of posting that. We're just trying to understand
the intention.
You know, what was the thought process? Yeah, you know, it's okay you saying it was a mistake. He just would not answer that question. And I think, I think the prevailing theory is that he decided to go after Arden because he's trying to get Matt Dillahunty's attention.
Oh yeah, and that's all it is. He thought Arden was a way to get to Matt, and if he insulted Arden, then Matt would pay attention. And Matt did pay attention, but so did a lot of other people.
Yeah. Well,
when he got to a new one, and then Chris completely embarrassed him on his own thread.
This was the funniest thing on that stream. He tried to say that Chris had nothing to do with his decision about taking.
Oh bullshit! And Chris completely embarrassed him.
Bullshit, Otangelo. Chris fucking shamed you into removing that.
Awooga, lie detection.
So yeah, I saw all that. And I said he also left a couple of dickish comments on the video that I did. So yeah, I'm done with the guy. And you know, I won't have him around my channel, and I will not appear on a stream with him. I'm done with him.
Yeah. By the way, Jeff did actually post the link in our group chat. So if anybody who's in that chat wants to hop in, for anybody else wants to hop in, send one of us a message. We'll shoot. If we know you, we'll send you a link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. If we know you.
Yeah. If we know you. Yes. We've all had bad experiences with people we don't know.
Especially me, because I got porn bombed once by letting someone I didn't know.
Porn bomb. Somebody thought they could compete with Jay and couldn't.
Oh yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah, you would have had to fucking zoom in to see it, but it was still.
Even then, it would have been difficult. I don't think any webcam has the pixel resolution to have possibly seen that.
I'd actually say, Steve, I actually disagree with that. I don't think Matt Dillahunty despises Otangelo. I don't think Matt Dillahunty even cares one way or the other about him. Honestly. Yeah.
Well, seeing Matt Dillahunty's debate last Sunday, right? He's got no time for someone like Otangelo.
No.
Unless you stick to the point, you know, because in the debates on MDD, it's one question, right? That one question is the thing you've got to have the evidence for or against.
Nerdy wins the night.
Oh, what? Has it got lasers?
Can't stand Jello.
I like that one.
I do like that one.
It's almost as good as Let's Go Brandon.
That's good. Yeah, that's. I think Nerdy may have just won the internet today.
Wow,
when does
that's
Nerdy
two
not
winners.
ever come up with classics?
But yeah, I did see that. I did actually. I did actually see that live stream because someone sent me a link about with that whole thing where it's just like it's just at a certain point it is just like you are just digging an even fucking deeper hole for yourself now at Tangelo, and people were being more than kind to him to try and give him the opportunity to like.
I don't think he deserves the kindness. I mean,
there
is a point. He didn't deserve the kindness when he started this, but to continue digging the hole means that all semblance of kindness no longer belongs in his direction. Because if you're going to be that big of an asshole, you don't deserve kindness. Because it's not like guys. It's not just like an accidental mistake or I wasn't aware that what I did was wrong. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He did it to get a lift out of Dillahunty. And no, I'm not a fan of Matt Dillahunty, as people know. But
no, I've got my issues with him.
All that aside, Tangelo did was entirely wrong. He knew it was wrong, and he dug a deeper hole for himself after he was pointed out that he did it wrong. That what he did was wrong. So, I mean, at that point, he doesn't deserve any sympathy. He doesn't deserve any kindness from us at all.
I predicted that, but I predicted that last Friday. I said that to Chris. I said to him, the leopard will not change his spots. He will. It was intentional. He knew exactly what he was doing. It would get a reaction. He got the reaction. And he's getting. I mean, it's very negative publicity.
The telling thing to me about how genuine he was with his quote unquote apology was the fact that one person he really needed to offer that to directly, he didn't, and that's Arden. Now that's completely up to. It was just completely up to Arden whether she accepts any apology for him or not. That is up to her and nobody else. But that's the one person above anyone else that he should.
His apologies that he offered weren't apologies anyway. They were, I'm sorry, I did something you didn't like. That's not an apology. That's not even close to being an apology.
Yeah, that's like when. How can I say?
I'm sorry you don't like the fact that I'm a bigot, but deal with it. It's pretty much what
sorry,
you're saying.
Sorry, I ate the last cookie, but now there's no more cookies, so suffer. Right? That's sort of an apology. Yeah.
Well, by the way, I won't show the comment, but I'm sorry to hear that, Linda. Hugs, basically.
Hugs to you, Linda. We'd love to have you here, but we totally understand.
Yeah. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon. Yeah. Who else is in the chat?
Let's go, Brandon. Woo.
Claire Nerdy.
Steve, Sandy. Yeah.
Granny. Hey, Granny. Hop in, Granny. Hop in to have some fun, Granny.
Is Granny in the 6-pack group?
Oh, I don't think she's been cancelled yet.
Yeah.
And by the way, Steve, as far as obnoxious comments go, you're going to have to compete with me and Davros.
I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post the link in your group as well, Jen. So I just
okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, and people can hop in if they want to.
It's also in Jen's group.
Yeah, so if you're in one of our groups, you can quickly hop in. If you're not in one of those groups, hit one of us up, and like I said, if we know you, we'll send you a link.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, who's asking about obnoxious comments? Because if they want some,
it was.
It was not Steve at the beginning. It was
Steve. Steve was having a laugh, but because if you're somebody like FTF's chat section, it goes by so fast, nobody sees what you type anyway.
I was going to say FTF. He quite often tends to get 200 or 300 easily watching during some of his streams. I'm hoping I can get him on at some point. I have been talking with him, but nothing's confirmed. So, but I am hoping I can get him on for a chat at some point soon.
Nice. You're talking about the chat room. Oh, yeah, the chat room here is nice. It's me and Davros who are obnoxious. I don't know how Jeff puts up with us. We're just so lovely.
Yeah,
it's a tolerance.
You know what it really is? The British love to look down on Australians.
Yeah,
it's like fucking convicts.
You give us so much to look down on, though.
It's your own fucking fault. You're the ones who sent us off to a little burning island.
Not being funny. The national motto of Australia is "Thank fuck America exists."
No, it's have a go.
I'm joking. Of course, I'm jesting. My American friends, obviously, But to be honest, to be fair, most of the Americans who I know come around this channel know what the fuck I'm on about. So they know that it's not aimed at them specifically.
I will. Oh, I've got a terrible joke for you.
That's nothing unusual. Sorry, Davros.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got this interstate conflict that we've got to settle.
Okay, so
no. To be fair, I actually think your state and my state should gang up and tell the rest of Australia to fuck off.
Yeah, we should secede. I think
we should secede. I agree.
We'd own half the country.
Yeah, and I reckon the NT would come with us as well. So
that'd be 2/3 of the country.
Yep. And probably Queensland as well, because I think they're fucking sick of them as well.
So a quick joke. What's the difference between an Iron Man and an Iron Woman?
Oh, go on. I think
it's going to be something about starching your sheets or something, isn't it?
The opinions, right? I'm going to say, go on then.
One's a superhero, the other one starts after the laundry.
Yeah.
The opinions of Davros may not necessarily be the opinions of this channel, but
You're allowed to laugh, though.
Yeah, I've heard that joke before. Yeah,
we'll start calling you Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, that's funny. He actually had a trans woman, another trans comedian, come out and actually front up for him. It's like they've called out because it wasn't actually the Alphabet crew.
I don't know, nerdy. What is the difference between Boris Johnson and a flying pig?
There's no such thing as a flying pig.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. The letter F. Brand says anyone can take over a country. It's Jen.
I'm not talking about taking over a country. I'm just talking about getting rid of a couple of states that are rather annoying.
Yeah,
I'm sure Davros would agree. I mean,
well, I can give a perfectly good take on this, and it actually has to do with the current situation of the 2020s. Right. So, New South Wales, our largest population centre, was behind South Australia in vaccination rates back in June. Oh, what happens? A Delta outbreak. They end up going into massive lockdown, start screaming for vaccines. Oh, guess which two states just hit 70% before South Australia?
Yeah, because they redirected our vaccinations and your vaccinations to the other states who hadn't been bothering to organise their vaccinations beforehand because it's all right. It's going to be fine in our country. It's not going to be a problem. Well, now you've had, a couple of thousand people die. So, no, it is a problem, you dickheads.
Well, I mean, I'm actually, a few weeks, hopefully, I should be getting my third one because they're doing boosters. They've already started doing boosters in the UK on the mainly. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think the Pfizer one is used, but mainly it's the AstraZeneca one that's used in the UK. It seems to be the main one.
No, I got Pfizer, so I don't know. But I mean, mine wasn't that long ago that I got mine, so I won't need a booster.
Yeah, I don't think
early next year.
I don't think the was it Moderna one. I don't think that's in use in the UK, as far as I know. But
okay, I'll agree with Brilliant. I did make an overstatement. There hasn't been 2K deaths. I did make an overstatement. There's been well over 2,000 cases since that colossal fuck up in New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah, that says a lot about our preem. That is his actual full name, by the way.
What?
That's not even a joke. That is not even a fucking joke.
It may as well be. I mean, the man's a joke. I mean,
he is a fucking buffoon, but at the same time, I think he plays the buffoon for effect. He's quite. He's a nasty. He's quite a calculated, nasty piece of work, actually. But
and by playing the buffoon, he gets away with some more of his nasty.
Yeah, and I've got to say, he's somewhat, since he's become PM, tones down the sort of buffoonery a little bit.
His own dad doesn't like him, for fuck's sake. You know that. I mean, I know you get family squabbles anyway, but his dad basically said, "I know he's my son, but I fucking hate his politics."
To be fair, though, if I was like saying, I'll take another British politician, right? Jeremy Corbyn. Now, to be fair, if I was Jeremy, I would fucking despise my brother right now, Piers Corbyn.
Right. Hang on. You're talking about the fella that took the Monopoly money.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Corbyn's brother. But like, even is it Jeremy Corbyn's own son about that says, "I've only got one thing to say about that. Piers is a tit. That's all."
Yeah, but that was funny because actually Jem Panda did his Sunday roast, and he actually had that clip of Piers being spoken to by those basically catfishers, right? And then he still took the money. Even though it was fake, he still took the fucking money.
He still took it. At the end of the day, I mean, I had this conversation with Chris, because obviously Chris has been around politics or whatever. I mean, he said, and it's, you know, it says straight away, it says, if you've been around politics or political campaigning any way, no matter what the excuse they've tried to tell you, you know, if someone is trying to give you a brown envelope, right? He's like, fuck, he said, look, I'll leave the room and I'll report it fucking happening immediately if somebody tried to do that.
But this is the thing, you got this leader of this anti-against everything kind of guy who's speaking to people who said they were from another big farmer, takes the money to say that the other ones are shit. Like, that's worse than us.
Yeah. I'm just going to address this. I'm going to say I actually somewhat know the man. He's not a fake at all. Jeremy Corbyn. Do I think he necessarily always handles things great? No, but the guy's not a fake at all.
No, he's just got a tit of a brother who's fucked it all up for him.
The biggest problem you guys have in the UK, and we've got a bit of it too, is that the Labour Party is lacking direction.
Our Labour Party is just the only direction at the moment is we've got a leader who is the leader of the Labour Party is more interested in purging the left out of his own party than he is fighting Boris Johnson. Blokes Keir Starmer's a fucking drip, and I cannot see in a million years that he is going to beat. And I mean, the last 2 years especially, Boris has handed him opportunities on a fucking plate.
I mean, you should be looking at a decimation of the Tories, given the handling of COVID in the UK. Yeah, and they are going to get back in. They are going to get back in. I cannot. You know, it's just, yeah. I mean, as I said, there's opportunity after opportunity. I can't imagine that Corbyn would have missed those.
Quite frankly, there wasn't a fucking plan, and we're starting to feel the effects of that right now, Steve. There really wasn't a plan. The whole debate around Brexit the whole debate was atrocious, and I'm going to say from both sides of the argument and the main campaigns.
To be honest, the problems with politics in the UK are exactly the same reasons why you are called Turf Island, because you've got this middle to upper class, cis-het white mob who think they're better than everyone fucking else, and things are going to have to be our way and fuck you lower people.
Oh, it's pretty. I'm going to say this. Do you know this? Boris actually has backed Kathleen Stock and the LGB Alliance.
It's fucking dreadful.
And that's the sort of thing for a start. You'd think the bloody leader of the Labour Party would get on fucking board with that. Like, why the fuck are you Why the fuck?
Because there are elements in the Labour Party who are just as far right as the fucking Tories.
Yeah,
we have a similar problem with our Labour Party not wanting to be left enough. Are doing the same sort of shit that the Democrats have done in the US, where your right wing keeps moving further right. So your left wing party goes, oh, we can go a little bit more centrist. No, don't fucking do that.
It's always it's always that quote unquote squeezed middle shit that they always keep using.
It pisses me off. It's like, we need a proper leftist party. And I've often considered myself a centrist in many policy ideas, but not in social reforms. I am very much heavily duty leftist. But you need a leftist party to balance out the right-wing bullshit. And if your left-wing parties continually move right, what you end up with is going back to being in the fucking 60s, where we end up with segregation. We end up with more gays, lesbians, and trans people getting killed in the fucking street because we don't have any laws to protect people who are the underclasses. And then after that, you have rights removed from women.
That's true.
This is the problem.
That's true, Steve. But that's kind of like the warning sign to the rest of us, really, about what Jen is saying. That this is what Trump was a fucking symptom of the shit that has been going on in American politics for a long fucking time. He wasn't the cause. He was the end result of.
And we're seeing similar personalities come through in the UK and Australia. I mean, okay, it's never going to be quite as bad as what it got in the US because our political systems are different, and our states have a better opportunity to protect, especially in Australia, our states have a better opportunity to protect us a little bit from what happens federally. But we are ultimately going to have similar problems. And we jokingly call the UK turf island, but there are as many turfs in Australian politics as there are in the UK politics. It's just that they don't have any power here.
I'll say this to Steve Jones. I don't know Steve's politics or which way he votes or whatever, or what he thinks about New Zealand's current Prime Minister. But it was when that whole thing happened in Christchurch, and the way she conducts herself in a situation like that compared to the way somebody like a Boris Johnson, Donald Trump, or whoever would conduct themselves in that, she was absolutely fantastic. I mean, she won respect around the world for the way she conducted herself around that. And it's like this, I mean, I don't know what your whether you're a fan of hers or not, but just the way she conducts herself to our quote unquote statesmen. Hey, Dave. All right, that's good to see you, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I've become more. I mean, Jeff would acknowledge this from the amount of time I've known Jeff, and I think Davros too, how much more left I've become over the last couple of years because of crap that's happened in my own country, and I've seen happen in the UK and in the US. I've actually become more left wing than I was before.
Yeah,
and I was pretty left wing as far as things go when it comes to social reforms. Being part of several minorities. Jen. But
back before Kevin and Julia got ousted, both our political parties were left-leaning.
They were.
Back in 2009.
I would even say, I mean, even with Tony Abbott, the Liberal Party wasn't pulled that far right. The most of the right pulling of the Liberal Party has happened under ScoMo's watch.
Yeah, but the spectrum, because that spectrum change.
Yeah,
Albanese shouldn't have become the leader of the Labor Party. They
no, worst fucking choice.
He had his time, right?
And he's not electable.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know who the Labor Party. I think Labor Party is scared of putting another woman at the front because of what happened previously. But yeah, I am honestly not sure who the Labor Party could actually put up front at the moment and win the next federal election in Australia.
By the way, when I said
Julian Hill.
Sorry,
I was just going to say
Julian Hill.
Just by the way, mods. When I said Darth Dawkins wasn't around here, I didn't mean Gary Priestley. Okay, so don't time him out or anything.
Or Ed.
Or Ed. Or Ed. Yeah.
Or Ed. Yeah. Well, baby, it's Ed.
But as I said last week on, and I do agree with what Chris said as well, that I don't really. I mean, yeah. In hindsight, I don't think that was a good idea of Tom Rabbit to post that video necessarily. I kind of understand why he did, but I don't. But don't. I'm not I certainly don't recommend anyone going and watching that video. But for those who normally, should we say, watch Six Pack at this time and think anyone has been too harsh on Darth Dawkins, it's shit like that is why you realise, if anything, been fucking kind to the guy.
Oh yeah, we've been immensely kind to him. And the number of times he's shown up in any of our streams, just to basically pick on people. I mean, intentionally bad. Darth Dawkins is the kind of human being that I wouldn't mind if they vanished from the face of the planet. Basically,
the man's a fucking bully. That's what I don't like about Darth. That above anything else. Not so much as just his views or his, whatever, but it's the fact that he is a fucking bully. That's why I don't like him. Yep.
That's incredibly accurate. I mean, he doesn't even have good arguments.
Same with me, Dave. He gets no charity from anyone. He's just a nasty piece of work.
I mean, we've complained earlier about what Antangelo did to Arden. To be quite frank, Dawkins was worse.
Oh yeah, but then I was going to say this question was asked actually on that stream, I think by MathPig, and it was about where Antangelo got that picture. He said, because we know, he said, listen, we know somebody you hang around with plays a very sick, evil game in their Discord server. I said, was just trying to get an answer. Did that come from him, that picture? Because we know about the disgusting thing that goes on in that Discord server. Yeah. And Antangelo didn't want to answer that. And he could have just said, no, that's not where I got it from. It would have been, that says a lot that he wouldn't answer that.
I'll just say to Mr. Dawkins straight out, come after me, Mr. Dawkins. I'll fucking tear you a new one, you asshole.
Damn, Jen went full on Ed there. Yeah, I
don't think he would, because he knows. I mean, he's scared of Chris, and he knows. He knows that if he came after me, we would all tear him apart, like we did with everything else. Yeah, we did. We would just embarrass him to complete.
He got embarrassed by Chris. That's why he's afraid. That's why he won't go near Chris, because he got embarrassed, and he knows he got embarrassed by Chris.
Oh yeah.
Don't confront me, you little prick.
I mean, that whole thing when I was watching, and
I still want that song. I still want somebody to do. Will the real Darth Dawkins please stand up?
Oh,
when you look up the
with the real Mrs. Dawkins, please stand up. Oh, you naughty little boy.
I just wondered, anyone noticed that Shmi Dawkins is does sound an awful lot like Dame Edna?
No. Oh, no.
just saying.
No, I'm thinking a bit more like Auntie Jack.
You're just not going to know what that
I'm not going to know.
is.
I don't know that reference. Everyone understands the Dame. Everyone understands the Dame.
We know you'll be back. Though you're 10 feet tall, you don't scare us at all. I'll stop.
See.
There you go. My. See. Hello, possums.
I always thought that sort of pepper pot thing that Python did it best. Even though John Cleese has shown his bigoted colours in the last couple of years.
Yeah, but
I still think the man was a comedy genius.
Oh yeah. Well,
and so were the rest of them.
But again, Graham Linehan is an amazing comedy writer, but he's still a fucking disgusting figure.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he's written some amazing bits of comedy, but if you go back and watch a lot of the stuff he wrote, a lot of it is really cringy and really hard to watch because you can see not just his homophobia and his transphobia shining through, all his racism and everything else that's caught up in that weird ass brain of Glenna's showing through in his works. And he's written some really funny stuff. But then a lot
of his best stuff though was the stuff that when he was had a partner he was writing with, because Father Ted, I forget that there was two.
The best thing he partnered him is Black Books.
Black Books with Dylan Moran. And Dylan Moran's washed his hands of him now.
Oh, Dylan Moran fucking assassinated him on stage. Absolutely assassinated him.
Black Books was hilarious. Black Books is very underrated, actually.
And they messaged him on a thread he was typing in Twitter to say, "What happened to you, you idiot? You've ruined your career, your life to just bullshit about people and attack them for no reason. I do not want anything to do with you ever again."
It's a bit like I knew a few years ago, like a load of people I know who were Smiths fans. And we're asking Johnny Marr, can you do a fucking intervention on behalf of, an intervention on Morrissey? And it was just like, I think even he had to turn around and says, look, he's a fucking lost cause at this point.
Yeah.
He is a lost cause. He is
Manny
is an asshole.
I mean, we talk about Manny, we talked about Dylan Moran, we talked about Manny. So, oh God, the actor. What is his name? The comedian.
Bill Bailey.
Bill Bailey. I've seen him. Bill Bailey has also publicly condemned Graham Linehan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill went off his. Most of the comedians who have worked with him at some point have distanced themselves from him.
I've seen Bill Bailey. He's actually did a music gig at a big rock festival.
I'd love to see Bill Bailey on stage.
But the funny side is he had like a whole lineup of the old like honk horns thing, sort of horns.
Yeah,
he had them all lined up like different lengths, and was going up and down them, playing Metallica's Enter Sandman on them. It was really good.
Yeah, he's using blob honks to play Metallica. Like it was, yeah. But the thing is, I've got all 3 seasons of Black Books on DVD.
There's 4 of them.
Oh,
3. There's only 3.
Was it 3? I thought there was 4 Black Books.
There's only 3.
Nope.
Oh, there was only 3, was there?
Yeah, IT Crowd had 4 seasons. Technically,
yeah, you're right.
That was okay, but I didn't find that as funny as Black Books or Father Ted.
I think only the first season of IT Crowd was great, to be perfectly honest. I think after that it went downhill drastically. And you could see the decline in the capabilities of a certain writer as the show went on.
Well, you notice a lot of his comedies before that, it didn't go beyond 3 seasons because Father Ted, even if they wanted to make a 4th,
they couldn't.
Dermot Morgan died after they finished filming the 3rd season, but they were basically wrapping it up anyway. It wasn't going any further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I loved Moss in IT Crowd. Richard Iowati is fucking hilarious. And he's another comedian who has distanced himself from Glinner. So yeah, I mean, Glinner has made himself
nerdy was a fan of the IT Crowd. I mean, I don't think it was the best one that Hun did, but
Black Books by far.
Books
I mean, I liked Father Ted as well, but there a lot of the little underlying elements, a lot more of his underlying insecurities and bigotry showed through in Father Ted than it did with Black Books. Black Books was just downright hilarious.
I hear you're a racist now, Father.
It does have Father Ted does actually have one of the funniest things in it, and that's the cows.
Yeah. Oh, hello. We have a sign.
These are near. Those are far away.
Yeah.
These are small. These are far away. Hi, Sunnies. How are you, hon?
I've been a lot better, but I suppose I've also been a lot worse. C'est la vie.
It happens.
Wait, what?
It happens.
It happens.
We have good and bad days.
That's it.
Anyway.
How are you keeping anyway? Sorry, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Well, where do I start?
Well, we know what we're filling out the rest of Jeff's stream with now.
Usually a story starts at the beginning.
Well, starts at the beginning.
Generally, jokes are supposed to be funny.
It wasn't a joke, it was cynicism. Uh-oh.
Ooh.
I don't know. That didn't sound like cynicism. That sounded like a very poor attempt at sarcasm.
That's pretty normal for Davros.
I'm learning that.
I have what's called cynical smugness.
Cynical smugness.
Is that what they
call
it?
Terminal smugness, more like it.
Terminal smugness. Love that. I'm going to use that term now.
That's what Trump has, isn't it? Terminal smugness.
Yeah, I'm not that smug that I sniff my own farts yet.
Oh.
Yet? What are you in?
Oh, yeah, Nerdy's version's good too. Clinical cynicism.
Yeah, I like that.
Clinical cynicism, it's leading to terminal smugness.
I like that.
This got real medical real fast.
Where's Dr. Ben when we need him?
Yeah.
It's more psychological than medical, I think.
Well, psychological illness can be just as fatal as physical illness, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'll ask my bipolar in a minute.
Well, I mean, the way I see it, if you shove your head up your own ass far enough, you'll eventually suffocate, right?
If you shove your head far enough up your own ass, you can look out your own eyeballs.
There's definitely a few people I'd like to do that experiment on by shoving their heads up their own asses, but we've mentioned a couple of them earlier on the stream.
Oh, lovely.
Well, the problem with the ones you mentioned before is they already have their heads up their own asses.
Sorry, Doc.
I
didn't realise you were there.
You're basically talking about people who are human Mobius strips, Jeff.
Did somebody call a doctor?
No, actually, no. We're quite fine. We don't require any form of medical assistance.
That's fortunate because I'm not a real doctor.
You just play one.
Right, Davros, you need to bend over and cough right now.
So you like so you like Kent Kent Hovins then?
Mm-hmm. Went to the same school.
Well, actually, no. He can't be like Dr. Kent Hovind. He's currently incarcerated.
Yes, he is indeed. Yes, I think he had to. When was it? Was it Monday or something? He had to go in, wasn't it? Had to report.
Yep.
Wow, I've missed a lot. Why is Kent Hovind incarcerated exactly?
Domestic abuse.
Oh.
He got off fairly light though, because he's only got to spend a month in jail. But it's a
well, that's typical. Abusers usually do get off easy. Look at mine.
But I should say this. There's a number of other conditions or whatever that he got. Technically, he got a year in jail, but 11 months of it was a suspended sentence. But obviously, that obviously means he has to, comply with every single bit of the judgment. Now, I don't know whether he has done all of that yet, but
I highly doubt it'll happen.
It's Kent Hovind. He's not going to comply with anything. He thinks he's above the law.
Yeah, he's still like appealing this or something.
He's not very appealing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have gone into prison when that kid drowned in his park.
Actually, I'll just clear this up. Actually, Cindy Lincoln, I think, was his third wife, but incredibly, within weeks of this happening, Kent got married again.
Well, abusers don't usually have a hard time finding punching bags. Look at my ex-husband.
Mm.
Because eventually they always find somebody to sucker in.
Virillion. I'll just point this out. Yeah, he had to turn himself in last Monday, which I believe he's done. But he also has to obviously comply with the judgment of paying her medical bills, and I'm trying to remember what else was in the judgment. There was several other things. I think he had to hand over some of his guns and that were at Dinosaur Adventureland. Now, that's
usually abusers aren't allowed to own guns.
And that's something where I think he might dig his heels in a bit.
So have we started a betting pool on how long before he violates any or all conditions?
I was going to. Would have already. It's Kent Hovind.
I'd like to, but at the same time, it's not something I really want to make a joke about, because domestic abuse isn't something that should be joked about. So,
Well, I've survived domestic abuse myself. I know,
yeah.
I'm not even really joking. I'm only half joking.
Yeah, I know.
Only because I know abusers don't change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and it's fun to watch abusers get what they deserve. So eventually he'll violate it, and he'll get fucked for it.
Sorry, Davros.
How long until Dinosaur Adventureland becomes 1994? Anyone remember what happened in 94?
I was born.
David Koresh, anyone?
Yeah, I know.
Anyone?
Yeah. I know. That's the scary thing.
That guy. I like to pretend he didn't exist, because that's horrifying.
I could see that.
But when you hear... when you hear this story of what's happening to Kent Hovind, like someone who's been, he's now a career criminal, because it's not the first time he's been a jailbird, right? He's got guns, he's got a property, he's got followers. Just saying, Branch Davidians, maybe. Jonestown, maybe.
I kind of wonder about him. Well, you never know with these people. I think there's one big difference between him and Koresh. Is I think Koresh genuinely believed in his own shit. I don't know that Hovind actually does. I don't know that I think Hovind is a con man, and he knows he's a con man, and
he's basically building a compound though at Dinosaur.
Oh, he is. Yeah, I mean he basically gets people down there to work for him for free. Is what he does.
Yeah, and he paints himself as some sort of messiah when he isn't. Yeah. Well, without saying he's a messiah.
Yeah, this is definitely the makings of some kind of cult. I would watch for large purchases of Flavor Aid.
This is the thing. This is the mentality. Now, Now, I've done a few streams or whatever, or videos about Kent Hovind, and this one, I mean, yes, when he lost that lawsuit and it got kicked because we knew it was getting kicked out. I had a fucking laugh and a chuckle at Kent Hovind's thing. When this news broke, I was very more serious and matter of fact, and just really reported the news, not really taking much of a side of it one way or the other. But you just know when you get Kent's fanboys in your comments that he must be doing something right because the government are obviously persecuting him, and you just can't. It's like, and I'm like, let's actually figure this out here. Like, think about this: if the US government was just that genuinely serious. They wanted to get Kent Hovind locked up and away from them. Do you think he would have got a 1-year suspended sentence and only had to spend 30 days in jail?
No.
Come on. You know.
No, are you kidding? The United States government is so ridiculously light on abusers, it's not funny.
I don't think the US government, I don't even think the US government really, apart from, if anything, they might just view Kent as a fucking occasional nuisance they got to deal with, you know. But I'm sorry, Sandy. Sandy, I didn't know if I would upset you or something. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Sandy.
I don't know.
It is kind of triggering talking about this.
Yeah, I think maybe we should get off.
I'm sort of sidetracking myself as well because, like you, Sonny, I'm a survivor as well. So.
We could talk about bunnies.
Bunnies.
No, I don't have any.
I don't know. I was just trying to come up with. I
used to have bunnies.
Cute.
I had a bunny and it died on Easter.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Oh, I know. It was horrifying, and I was just like, really.
Worse when you got kids.
Well, now I have my microsci will be 4 on the 28th.
All I want for Christmas is a flat earther to come up with some evidence.
Well, then you're going to be one sad little kid on Christmas morning.
Santa's going to let you down there, Davros.
They can come up with evidence. It won't be convincing, but they can come up with evidence.
I got to admit, my favorite meme this week was the one with I think I saw Claire share it before anyone else, but the whole one, William Shatner saying, "Hey, the Earth's not flat. I checked." That was quite funny.
Having said that, I'm a big fan of sending William Shatner into space, but they should have fucking left him there.
But see, fuck
William Shatner.
I don't like the guy, but someone was on about like putting all the flurfs up in space or whatever just to end this. I said, even if you sent them up on fucking SpaceX or Blue Origin, they'd still say it was CGI.
Yeah. We really didn't go up. They wouldn't let us outside of the spaceship to prove that we were in space. Okay.
Yeah.
We were quite happy to open the airlock.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, but that's why the latch says "do not open."
I'm going to back in 2 secs, guys. I'm going to go get myself a quick cigarette and top up on beer.
You know what? Let me
see mate.
$1 cigarettes while I slept.
You know what I really want to talk about
yesterday.
Sorry. What I really want to talk about is Demonic Devros's avatar there. It is freaking awesome.
I don't have your phone.
I love Jeffrey Combs so
Reanimator.
That's right.
I stuck it up your ass.
Yeah, but
and I'm going to kill my boyfriend.
But the thing that reminded me of it was H Bomber Guy doing his vaccine video essay.
Oh.
That thing went fucking viral. That video he did. Over 1 million views in less than 24 hours. Like, it was crazy.
Who is this chap?
But H Bomber Guy. He does a lot.
I'm familiar.
He's another debunk channel.
Yeah, he did a video on Flat Earth as well. It was actually quite well done.
Mystery stuff is actually.
Somehow I feel like a video on Flat Earth can't be well done just for the simple fact that Flat Earth is indisputably bullshit.
Well, not on Flat Earth, but I'm mocking Flat Earth.
There's another one in the pack? Yeah, there's another one in the pack. Shut up. I'm going to kill my boyfriend one of these days. You're going to hear about me on the news.
You know, there's another one in the back is not a good term to use towards your boyfriend whilst you're on a live stream.
No, we're talking about we're talking about there's another cigarette in our pack.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you had another boyfriend out the back.
No, he asked me if there was another cigarette in the pack, and I said yes.
So there isn't
Why
another boyfriend.
Why am I the only one with a proper camera on?
I can't exactly turn my camera on.
She's naked.
Hi.
I was naked earlier. That's not an excuse. I had my camera on.
So was I.
Not all of us are as confident in ourselves.
She really should because I gotta go to my doctor.
Should I? Yes. Will I?
Yeah,
let me smoke my cigarette first. Did we all miss Josh and his annoying commentary?
No. It's all right, Josh. We love you.
I love you guys too.
Yeah, he's a good egg.
When I want to be.
Yeah, that's when he wants to be.
Yep.
Does he scramble?
Yeah, Jeff's right. I wasn't naked on his channel. I was naked on my channel earlier.
Yeah,
I'm interested. How much does he love us?
You know, I was gonna say, Jen, you seem uncharacteristically clothed. What's the occasion?
Well, I already did the tits out stream earlier, and when I came in here, when I first hopped in just before we were due to go on, I was still naked, and I said to Jeff, "You want me to put some clothes on for your stream?" He goes, "Yes, please. I don't want to lose my stream."
I did catch a little bit of your show while I was still at work.
We had fun.
Speaking of work, Doc, how's your hellish experience in the hotel industry, or was this a different job?
Oh, I don't know. It's been kind of humdrum lately, but
not
too bad, I guess.
I've had a bunch of accusations of racial profiling and
what the hell?
Yeah, me of all people, and we all know how much of a bleeding heart defund the police. You know, I don't give a fuck about the color of anybody's skin. I give a fuck about the content of their character and how much brain is between their ears, if any.
Oh, so you've met people?
Yeah, humans.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, not a Ferengi reference.
Hey, just remember rules of acquisition 34 and 35.
No, we're not doing Rule 34 here.
What? That you can always make profit in wartime?
No, Rule 34 is if it exists, there's porn of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was talking about the Ferengi rules of acquisition.
The Ferengis probably still have that rule as well, because Ferengis like porn.
Yeah, I think that's like rules.
If they exist, somebody's had their ears rubbed by it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a sex sells rule in the Ferengi book.
There's two two rules right next to each other about making profit. One's during war, one's during peace.
I'll be right back.
Always profit to be made.
You realize knowing those rules is almost as bad as learning Klingon?
Quapla.
Oh.
Yeah. And everyone knows those two. But people do learn it. It's like people learning Elvish from Lord of the Rings. They're like, I like the Lord of the Rings, but fuck learning Elvish.
We lost Sai.
Yeah, she's coming back.
Okay, cool. I'll keep my eyes peeled for her.
Oh, don't peel your eyes, it'll hurt.
So I was going to say I don't know that there's any Rule 34 stuff regarding us, but I do recall a couple of people were on about writing fan fiction on like the Dave's stream. So
hey, look, if it exists, there's porn of it. And as I know that Rule 34 is true, I did my own. That way I was in control of what the porn was for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So there's My Pillow guy porn. Jesus.
Side back.
No, but I bet you there's a lot of his pillows in some of those pornos.
Ew.
Sticky pillows.
The last thing I need to think of is that asshole fucking a pillow.
Jojo!
Oh. No, it's the fact that you thought about that guy fucking the pillow to begin with, to not want to have that thought.
You know, you're the one that brought up My Pillow guy porn. This is your fault.
Well, I was the one who brought up My Pillow guy porn, actually.
Yes,
I don't
but
care
I
if you
don't
brought up
hate
My Pillow
porn.
guy porn. It wasn't me, therefore it's not my fault.
I only did it to seed it in your minds.
You know, there's going to be porn containing Boris Johnson and
No,
Donald Trump.
No, let's not.
Boris Johnson porn. Somebody call Black Soap.
No, let's not. Nobody needs that image in their minds.
Yeah, really. I have enough bad images in mind.
Quick, someone call 999 for Jeff. He's going to faint.
Yeah. Well, especially if
I keep forgetting that 999 is the emergency thing everywhere else.
Especially if it's
no, as is 000.
I don't need to see that.
Josh, shut up. You're annoying.
I'll shut up when you get dressed.
I'll get dressed when you shut up.
You don't think Trump tried to grab Boris by the pussy?
Oh, of course he did.
What?
No, not you. We're talking about Trump trying to grab Boris Johnson by the pussy.
I don't know what you're on about. I don't know what the Americans could make such a big deal of the pussy grabbing thing. It's I mean, look, we had a prime minister that put his cock in a dead pig's mouth. So come on.
Okay, yeah, there's
that one. I think we win that one.
We had a president that used to show his dick to everybody. President Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you had Richard Nixon.
We had a prime minister who held a drinking record for, or still does, I think, at Oxford University. Yeah.
Fastest downing of a yard glass.
Yeah. Yep.
12 seconds, I believe it was.
I actually think that's something about a prime minister you can be proud of.
Yeah, Bob Hawke.
Yeah, Bob Hawke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks to him, we have Medicare.
We also have a prime minister who is really, really generous towards sea life and fed himself to sharks. So
yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah, I remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Harold.
Yeah, there was a comedy routine done by Billy Connolly where he said that you Australians knew how to treat your prime ministers correctly. That Harold Holt said, "We prayed for sharks for years with Margaret Thatcher."
Just couldn't get her. Just could not get her near enough to the water. Just couldn't do it.
To be honest, you probably wouldn't have been their kind of to their taste.
At least right now, the president is refreshingly boring. At least we're not hearing about whatever idiotic thing Joe Biden tweeted this time. I'm by no means I'm not going to sing his praises left and right, but it is quite a relief to have an adult in the White House again. I mean, it's sad that we have to set the bar so low.
Name the adult.
Not my favorite president ever, and he wasn't my first choice. But I can look at things quite pragmatically and think to myself, at least we don't have Trump anymore.
Okay, name one adult in the U.S.
The Republicans still blocking shit. So that,
you've
got a couple of Democrats who are siding with fucking Republicans. I mean, fucking hell, what is wrong with your political system?
Do you want the laundry list or the condensed version?
Oh, I know what's wrong with you.
I was going to say, Jen, I'm not planning on streaming all fucking night.
Yeah, really. Like, some of us have places to go. I do eventually have to put on clothing. I have to take Josh to his doctor.
Things to see. I missed out on my people to do this week.
You can hop back.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I got invited out for coffee, and you know, with a good friend, and he's gorgeous. And I was not feeling well enough to go out.
No.
And he's gone away for 2 weeks, so I'm like,
no.
He's not my boyfriend, but hey, look, I coffee with a cute guy. Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, yeah. It is a thing. I was offered a massage too, and I'm like, I missed out on the fucking massage.
I blame capitalism.
I blame feeling sick.
Yeah, your sickness is due to capitalism.
My sickness is due to capitalism.
We need to get a communist society going here.
Yeah, then you won't be sick at all, and you can go and have massages and fucking coffees whenever you want. We need a bourgeois society so I can have my coffee and my massage. Yep. Thank you very fucking much.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm dressed. I can have my camera on now.
Hey.
Yeah, we need a totalitarian, almost fascist government.
This has been on.
Because the one we've got now is just, it doesn't know what totalitarian is and is.
We have yeah. I mean, we say it's Australia, we have a shit government, but at least we don't have Boris Johnson. As much as I hate ScoMo, he's not Boris Johnson.
It's been on for like 9 hours. Let me see that deodorant.
I don't know why you want to see it, Josh. It's just deodorant.
Give me it.
You said let me see it. If you wanted me to give it to you, you should have said give me the deodorant.
He probably wants to put some on. He thinks it's small size.
No, he does. He does want to put some on. But he said let me see it. So of course I had to be an asshole.
Huh.
Ow! Threw it at me and it hit me in the boob. You know, it's a very endearing quality about Josh. You know, we've been going through some shit lately. I don't know if anybody saw my tweets. We're legit in a motel for the next few days. I have to make sure we can pay for another week because our psychotic roommates threw us out.
Because they thought I was high.
Yeah, they thought Josh was under the influence of heroin.
But check this out. If I was getting high, I wouldn't have passed 2 drug tests that they provided.
Yeah. The real reason they threw us out, I think, is because we objected to their illegal security camera. But, you know, it's funny. We're going through all that, and Josh still finds the time to be the adorable, heartwarming little asshole we've all grown to love. At least he hasn't undergone a radical personality shift. I'll give him that.
As long as he's a dependable asshole.
He has his moments where he's dependable. He can definitely be depended on for a laugh.
If he's not being a dependable asshole, Sonny, you need to give him some lactulose.
Oh my God. I've tried giving him... No, his asshole really isn't dependable. He does suffer from horrible gastrointestinal problems, but he refuses to do anything about it. Now, granted, you know, we're no longer in Pennsylvania. We're back in my home state.
That was awesome!
What did you do? Throw something in the trash?
It bounced off the trash can. I bounced off the rim of the trash can. Then it bounced off the dresser, the wall, the rim of the trash can, the dresser, into the can.
Is he like 12?
You know that term, small things amuse small minds?
Yeah. He is quite small-minded. I mean, I told you what he used to think.
You thought there was no black people in Ireland.
We really need Claire here to answer that particular question. But
what kind of roommate asked for a drug test?
Hey guys, Kat thinks there's no black people in Ireland.
I don't think that anymore. I used to think there were no black people in Ireland because the only thing I knew about Ireland was what I learned in memes. I have since been re-educated. But Josh used to think that solar panels drain to the sun.
No, I can explain that.
Does anybody actually want a ridiculous explanation?
I can debunk it before he even says it.
The sun regenerates energy, right? Solar panels drain the energy. If they were draining it faster than it could, if they were possibly draining it faster than it could regenerate, what would happen?
That's not how the sun works or how solar panels work.
Yeah, and I found out that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Josh, would you like us to explain entropy to you?
No, you don't have to do that. I'm stupid enough.
I do have a
I'm stupid enough. I don't need to be smart.
We do have an
That's because he doesn't need to be brain for him.
I've survived this one.
Am I the asshole?
Yeah, that's definitely an am I the asshole moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, our roommates are absolutely psychotic assholes. The scary part is they're like obsessed with.
Hello.
Hi, Granny.
They tried to at me.
Hi,
Hey.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hi, Granny.
Hello.
I actually waved to you, Granny. Isn't that awesome?
Okay, I'm waving
Yeah,
back.
but what? Wave.
How's you today?
I'm shutting my camera back off. That's start driving. Whenever I can find my shoes.
I'm actually doing really well. I just finished a video that, as I was working on it, I kept saying it just seemed too disjointed. It didn't seem to be coming together. And I thought, this isn't my best work, but at least and then it did. You know, it's funny. It did. After I went back and looked at it again. Good. Yeah. It's a response to Alan Parr, and he makes two absolutely ludicrous claims. One is that the fall was orchestrated by God just so he could curse Eve and put Adam in charge.
What? The fuck?
That's ridiculous.
Yep.
I mean, I've heard some ridiculous shit in my life, but wow.
And the major premise of his video is it's okay for women to do the work of being a pastor. Just don't give them the title. Do not elevate women to that point.
Oh, my goodness. Does he know who Lilith is by any chance?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure he doesn't consider her to be real.
I'm like one of the least important people ever. Even I've heard of this.
I'm just gonna give my response. I'm just gonna give my response to that. That's better.
Yeah, Jeff knows what we were all thinking.
As I was working on it, I was going, why am I responding to a video about whether or not Christians say that women should be pastors or not? I mean, you know, what does an atheist care about whether women have the title of pastor or not? And the answer is because of what he says about women in general.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's like saying a woman can't be called a carpenter.
Mm-hmm. Or a scientist. You know, she can be the assistant, but she can't have the title of scientist.
Or a woman just can't be considered a person.
Actually, Vera Rubin might want to have a word with him.
And Virillion, you are absolutely right that Alan Parr is so dishonest. There's two spots in the video where I show that he clearly is being, you know, has an integrity issue with the material he's presenting.
Christians with integrity issues.
Yeah,
so unheard of.
Issues.
We were talking about that. How certain
who have we talked about? Who have we talked about in this stream so far?
Oh, fucking everyone!
Kent Hovind, Darth Otangelo. Yeah. No integrity issues with any
Y'all
of
want
them.
to hear about some integrity issues? I could tell you some fucking other crazy ass stories about my ex roommates. These motherfuckers are stealing the identity of a disabled man.
Oh goodness.
They tried to tell me. So as we all may or may not know, right? Josh is Like as we all may or may not know, Josh is a semi-recovering heroin addict. He's been on methadone for a few years, and he tried to tell us that methadone has methamphetamine in it. Like they tried to tell us that these psychotic fucking people. Yeah, I'm like, that's what I said. It's like the fact that he's been on methadone, right? And they gave him 2 drug tests, and he pissed negative for methamphetamine when he's had methadone in his system for years now, almost for over 3 years. Shouldn't that tell you that there's no methamphetamine in methadone?
Methamphetamine comes from ephedrine.
Meth. They just heard the word meth, and then that's it.
But
exactly. And they tried to say, we were taught that at the fire academy where we were training to be firefighters. It's like, you motherfuckers have criminal records. I doubt any fire academy actually let you in.
Wow.
Yeah. And these fucking people put me and Josh on the fucking street. Like, we're trying to make ends meet, barely managing, and it's just another example of how decent people have to struggle through life, and yet pieces of shit coast through. I've never enjoyed that phenomenon. Like my ex-husband and my dad, for example, they sail through life. Meanwhile, decent people like us have to worry about whether our next paycheck will cover all the bills.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but doesn't life just suck in general? I'm used to it, you know.
More or less.
Sorry, I'm racking my brain how people don't understand that methamphetamine, heroin, 2 completely different drugs. Methadone program can't be used for a meth addict.
If methamphetamine were in a synthetic opioid such as methadone, people would die from it.
Exactly. You'd have an ephedrine problem too.
And they said, oh no, it's just such a small amount that it won't show up on a drug test. Like, no, you're just stupid.
Methadone is specifically tested for in those drug tests. I mean, yes. I get drug tests set. Well, not all of them, but the ones that I get sent to me every week, that methadone is always one of the things listed. And I've got
that's what I'm saying. Methadone is its own separate. Like if you have, like if you're testing for, I think they only gave him 7 panels. Amphetamines such as methamphetamine, opioids like heroin, cocaine. The only thing he tested positive for was THC, and nobody gives a fuck if anybody smokes weed anymore.
They do where I live.
Me too.
I've got cases where people can't get their kids back because they test positive for THC.
Yep.
What?
That's
you serious?
In the state. Well, New Jersey is a legal state. See, I'm in a legal state right now.
I'm not.
And even if I wasn't, these people that were testing Josh also smoked weed. So they didn't care if he tested positive for weed because everybody in the goddamn house smoked it.
They won't take your kids for weed unless you're convicted of a crime because of it and go to jail because of it. But if you've already lost your kids and you're trying to get them back, if you test positive, you're not going to get them back.
Well, thankfully, I've never had my child taken.
Where I'm at, I live in Iowa.
That's one thing that I'll never allow.
Yeah, I live in Iowa, and I think it's, not sure if it's every mother, but anyone who has a baby in the hospital gets tested for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think I got tested when I had my daughter.
They take a blood sample. That's just one of the things they
Somebody
run.
lied on me to Child Protective Services. Well, when my daughter was at a month old, somebody lied on me to Child Protective Services, claiming that I was a meth head and an alcoholic. Do I look like a fucking meth head to you?
It's hard to tell. All I see is an avatar.
Literally.
Hey, bearded heretic. Good to see you.
Okay, let me turn my camera on for you, Granny. What? Okay, let me turn my So, do I look like a meth head to you?
Nope.
Do I look like I do methamphetamine?
Well, I'm just kidding.
You know what, Doc? I'm used to you, so I'm just going to ignore that.
I was going to say, go and do some meth and ask that question again.
I'm good. I have enough wrong with me medically that I have no interest in doing stimulants.
I'd love to do stimulants, but the fuck with my psych meds.
That's all I need. But no, like, they drug tested me after that call, and they literally told me, like, child services literally told me after we sat and laughed at the ridiculousness of the allegations. They said, well, ma'am, just so you know, we do have to drug test you, but at this point it's only a formality, and we only have to do it because drug use was alleged. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I tested clean for everything. But yeah, that's why my life is a sick joke. It's okay though, because I'm used to it. Eventually we'll pull through. I always figure things out in the end. I mean, I did get desperate enough, and we all know I have strong feelings against these usually, but I did end up starting a GoFundMe. But I have faith I'll figure it out in the end, regardless.
I have a good story about Christian integrity and drug use.
Let's hear it.
Most of you probably know I'm a Kaja. I'm a court-appointed juvenile advocate.
I'm going to interrupt just a second, Granny. I'm going to just drop myself from the stream, and we might start doing a bit of rotating because I just noticed somebody else has come in. So
okay. Who's come in, Jeff? Before you drop yourself out, who's come in?
You'll see.
I don't like that.
Hey, Jenny!
Never mind. I do like it. He wouldn't tell us I said I didn't like this. I take that back. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I just got up moments ago. I'm not even dressed. But that was your stream.
Well, you wouldn't have needed to get bothered getting dressed if you'd been away from my stream, because you could have done it with your tits out.
I know, because you got the piggy stream.
Oh yeah, Jenny, you missed it. I was naked too.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah,
in the chat.
In the chat. Well, that's spineless. Everybody.
Yeah, we had a full stream. Well, like this one, we had a full stream earlier as well. So, yeah. The only reason I asked Jeff before about who was coming in is because I am actually thinking you're heading to bed soon, so I actually get decent sleep tonight.
I actually have to head out myself. I gotta head out.
Midnight.
I will hang around for a bit.
I gotta drag Josh to his. I gotta drag Josh for his medication, and then yeah, that'll be fun. So anyway, pleasure talking to y'all. If Jeff decides to come back, tell him thanks for having me.
Oh, bye. Jeff, you wanted to say hi to Sunny's. Bye to Sunny's before she goes. Drop me down for a bit.
Hi.
Jeff's wandered off to have a smoke.
Or a drink. I bet he has.
A smoke? Oh, that's a good idea.
Do you smoke? I didn't know you smoked, Jenny.
Oh God, yes. At one point in my life, way back when in college and stuff, I smoked 4 packs a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to share a set of tweets with you guys. I actually retweeted it a moment ago, but I'm going to share it with the stream because it just shows how ridiculous hate groups are. Stupid things. I'm sure Granny will appreciate it, but I can't do that until Jeff gets back.
Well, you want me to share my story then?
Yeah, share your story.
Okay. So I'm a court-appointed juvenile advocate, and as that, in that role, I deal with children who have been taken by DHR, and I'm kind of in between the judge and DHR. I kind of serve as the eyes and ears of the court. And we had a mother at a hearing who was asked to do a hair follicle test. And she said she couldn't do that because she was a Christian and she couldn't pluck a hair out of her head.
What?
Yeah, it was against her Christian beliefs to pluck a hair from her head.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I know. That's I agree with you thoroughly, especially since the judge warned her quite sternly at this hearing that this case had been going on for a year now, and we were getting a lot of rigmarole from her and not a lot of full cooperation, and that she was never going to see her kid again unless she cooperated. We left the hearing, and 4 hours later, she was arrested for property theft. And I'm wondering how her Christian beliefs don't allow her to pluck a hair from her head, but property theft is okay.
Couldn't they just take her hairbrush from her purse and say, "Give me that"?
Then you got to prove that that's hers.
Oh, okay.
Whereas if you actually take the hair, then you know it's hers.
They did a nail test instead.
Yeah. Yeah, there's other tests they can do. So
nail test. Well, yeah, it depends what they're testing for, I guess.
Yeah, the things people will say to get out of things that will get them into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I am glad that guy is dead. The guy who killed his girlfriend out in Utah, Wyoming, whatever it was.
Okay.
Oh.
Petito, or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name was Gabby something.
Yeah.
His name was Brian Laundrie.
Polito.
Yeah.
As soon as they said that he was missing, I kept saying, I bet he killed himself. When they're looking for him out in the Everglades, I bet he killed himself.
Well, to be frank, if he hadn't done that to himself, I mean, he's from Florida. Mm-hmm. He would have ended up on death row anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when you end up with Dog the Bounty Hunter finding your trail, you got a problem.
Virillion says, God replaced thou shalt not steal with thou shalt not pluck follicles.
Thou shalt not be waxed, or
thou shalt not.
You shall have the monobrow.
The hair of thy body is sacred. Is sacred. Thou shalt not remove it. You must let it only fall upon where it shall.
Thou shalt not Brazilian. However, landing strips are okay.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, you should just share something, Jen.
I did, because this is about the LGBT Alliance, and I have to share this. Okay, this is actually, this is actually someone responding to them, but so this is a somebody who falls under the LGBT banner without the other letters, asking what charity work does LGBT Alliance do to support queer rights? Fighting against trans people doesn't count. What do they do for me as a cisgender queer person? To which the first answer is they advocate for LGBT rights, not any of the other letters or genders. That's the first one. And of course, the response to that is give examples. What does it actually do? Saying that means nothing. And of course, there's nothing typical, because there's a whole hour between the first post and the second one, and then somebody else goes, they're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to anything from the LGBT Alliance because you're queer.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Seriously?
And they they keep doing. You ask what they're doing for queer people. This is a group for LGBT people. Sort your own group out. Sort your own group out if you want one. I fall within the LGBT. Answer the question if you can. You said you were queer. Go and organize your own queer group. I really don't know why you have any problem here. I am an LGBT person.
Because
what are they doing for LGBT rights? Are you actually this dense, or are you simply being obtuse and misogynistic to avoid answering the question? Queer people can sort out their own rooms. This is a group for LGBT, and they go down this whole thing over and over again. Which just goes to show that they don't do anything.
They don't. They're not an advocacy group, right? They're a fucking hate group.
They're a hate group, yeah. They're not advocating for any rights for LGBT people. They are just a hate group falling under this weird banner. And the worst part about it is the Tory government is using them for making policy. And even some of the Liberal Party candidates in Australia are quoting the LGBT Alliance Australia in Parliament to attack.
I guess it's time to start paying more attention to them. I've been ignoring them because every now and then I go look at their stuff and I go, boring. But yeah, I think maybe it's time to start paying attention.
I would happily
about these people for a year.
Do a video
with you
that's
on what's gotten me.
I would happily do a video with you on them because they so need tearing down a peg.
Well, I mean, that's why I chose them when when I was doing during lockdown. I was doing some of those Twitter streams of like idiots on Twitter kind of thing. Because obviously did we did a number with Greg Locke, who we can't revisit because he's gone from Twitter. I'm really sad about that. Sorry. So who else did we do? Sorbo, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think we did. Bober, LGB Alliance was one of them. Someone else. Oh, Silverman. We did David Silverman's tweets.
Jen, you
stupid shit that he tweets.
Jen, you posted in chat that
the Ray Blanchard thing. That was fucking hilarious.
You watched that? I
haven't actually watched it yet. I've only read the thing about it and spoken to a couple of people who have. But it is hilarious because basically Glenna had everyone's favorite psychologist on, Ray Blanchard, to talk about his autogynephilia theory. And during the discussion, Ray basically said to Glenna and the other TERFs who were on Glenna's, to the TERFs who were on thing, "You're misappropriating my ideas. Please stop doing it." And I mean, Ray Blanchard is pretty much a TERF himself, but to tell someone like Glenna, and I think Stock was on the stream. There was a couple of others as well. And basically tell them, "You're misappropriating. You're not representing what I was talking about at all correctly." Not that I give a shit, because Ray Blanchard is still an asshole. But that was brilliant. It's like, yeah, you guys don't care about anything. You're just driving home a cultish idea. But it's like hilarious watching them chew themselves.
I'll be fine. That's a bit like that's a bit like Millwall fans not accepting you because you're being too violent. That's what that's like.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, hang on a minute, you guys are. I mean, it's what it is. It's an American version of a TERF, which is what Ray Blanchard is. Going on a stream with English TERFs and go, "Holy fuck, you guys are way worse than us." Which says a lot about TERF Island.
it actually could be a good thing if we were to jump on the Blanchard bandwagon. Okay, now hear me out, and push against the LGB and TERFs that they're stealing, they're thieves, that they're misappropriating, blah blah blah. And hopefully weaken some of their appeal to potential new members or supporters. The problem
is Ray Blanchard himself is still incredibly anti-trans himself.
Absolutely. But the end result is that we would have just one known lunatic here in America to really be fighting against, than a whole band of lunatics that can really cause.
You can discredit people in the UK because you can show categorically that the people in the UK actually don't care about any research. They only care about pushing their agenda, which is not the same for people like Ray Blanchard. Ray Blanchard cares about pushing his own ideas, and that's all he's ever cared about. But
can I just say, as it is my stream and I am the only Brit here, can I apologise on behalf of my fucking nation for these fuckwits?
No, I'm sorry. You cannot.
Yes, it's not your fault.
You know.
It's not your fault. There are people like this all over the world. There's just something about British TERFs that they managed to get a lot of press and get very vocal.
I think
which doesn't happen in other countries.
I think we fucked
capitalism.
up. I think we fucked up like a couple hundred years ago, and instead of sending all of our convicts out to where you guys are now, it's just the fucking TERFs.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty,
on that note,
I mean, bigotry in other countries came about because of colonialism.
England. Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
British colonialism.
Yeah.
But what other crappy words start with the C?
America.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Spooky's right here. Blame Jeff.
Yeah, I'll see you in the NT.
Yeah, but hang on, where's Spooky from?
Yeah, well, you know, it's technicality.
I found an article that was really misleading that was posted by Sean McDowell the other day, which quotes from the UK Mail. But when I went back to the original story in the UK Mail, the article that Sean posted kind of blurred some things together, which made, I can't remember her name. She's a doctor in California that does a lot of angioplasty. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but anyway, she does transgender surgery, and she was saying that we shouldn't give puberty blockers to children. Thank you. That's the word I was trying to say.
Angioplasty would be to do with the heart.
No, I said vangioplasty.
Oh, vangio.
I did put a V on it, but I still didn't get the word quite right. But anyway, she was saying don't give puberty blockers to young children like 9-year-olds. And her reasoning was if you do that and then they want to have surgery later, there's not enough tissue there. So wait until they're a little older so they have enough tissue so I can do the surgery. But the article that Sean posted made it look like she was saying don't give puberty blockers to children. And then
to be fair, the particular surgeon who said this went on a TERF stream to push her views about trans people in a field that she has no qualification in, because she is purely a surgeon. She is not a psychologist.
I mean, everything I'm hearing here. I mean, I was lost a bit at the beginning when you said the Mail article because.
Yeah, this, and I can't remember what her name is. Jenny might. Do you remember the name of the surgeon?
No.
I think it was Bowers or something like that.
Yeah, Bowers.
It was.
Yeah, she was trained by a real early pioneer in trans surgery, and I for the life of me, I can't remember his name either.
Fiber.
But he's the one they made fun of in South Park.
Then she was trained by Stanley Biber out of Colorado.
That's it. Yeah, from Colorado Trinity. However, she has a really, really bad track record of fucking up the surgeries that she's done. She has several lawsuits against her for malpractice, and she's refused to update her surgical procedures from those that she was taught, which is why she has problems with the things that she's talking about. So young people, other surgeons, if they're dealing with people who haven't had as much development in that area and they're looking for more skin, it's not a problem because they'll use skin grafts or they'll use abdominal tissue, internal abdominal tissue to create the vagina, which is self-lubricating then, etc., etc. There's all these other surgical procedures that most of the other surgeons around the world have picked up and started picking up nearly 20 years ago when she was first learning, and she's never progressed beyond the original type surgery that she was taught. And that's her problem.
Comment on that?
Yeah.
As somebody who received the skin graft system, it is horrible.
Oh yeah.
It has potential of leaving humongous scars, and we're talking scars, 4 to 6 inches square.
Yeah.
It doesn't work very well, and is overall quite disappointing.
On that lovely note, I'm off.
Yeah, I'll see you, Davros.
Nice, Davros. Bye.
See you later. Thanks for joining him.
Bye.
Ricardo, thanks for having me.
No worries.
I will have you anytime.
I know you will.
I've been had many times.
You betcha.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Ricardo says, forget
I
what is
still love
written
your
on the
avatar.
Mail UK. It's not even reliable around the accuracy of the page cutting on the press. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look. I mean,
The Daily
we often
Fail.
make the Daily Heil, I call it. I mean, just because it's been the Daily Mail. It's been a real bastion of balanced reporting going right back to the 1930s.
Well, it is a Murdoch-owned drag, isn't it? So.
No, it's
It's not.
owns no.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Rothermere
it's the other
owns
mob.
it's Rothermere's paper.
It's the same drivel, but
the Mail is always. I mean, the Mail is like we always bring up their political affiliations in the 1930s. So we just love to hold that against them. But I mean, like we make all the jokes, don't we? On like Six Pack or whatever we do about the Guardian, you know.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: as far as British newspapers go, the Guardian's one of the fucking better ones, honestly. In terms of it, the doing investigative journalism,
could be worse. It could be the Sun.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll say from the conservative side of the defence, the Telegraph, I will. There's times when I will admit they do some good investigative journalism. And the Guardian does some very good investigative journalism. So any of the Murdoch papers, I mean, even the Times, which is supposed to be like the respectable ends of the Murdoch paper empire, is just not that good.
Yeah.
But. I just think it's a sad indictment of British newspapers and also why.
Well, I mean, we've got the same problem with Murdoch shit because we've got the Australian newspaper over here, which is fucking dreadful piece of trash.
But I also see like what Chris is saying that definitely certainly with what they write about Australia, that the Guardian is very biased, and I get where Chris comes from on that. But of course, I mean, we know the reason why Chris we make that joke with Chris because of like Jimmy Snow, wasn't it? In his quote unquote research, 2 Guardian articles. And indeed, Spooky points out the Guardian does indeed have a good crossword.
Well, that is the true measure of any paper.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I know a lot of people who will buy a newspaper just to do the puzzles, like the puzzle page.
I got a paper for the longest time, mostly for the Sudoku puzzles and the comics. And I finally gave it up because the customer service was so bad.
That's the one thing I will give to the Daily Mail in the UK is the one thing I will give them is that they have the better they have some of the better comic strips. That's the one thing I'll give them.
That's the one thing I miss. Since I gave up the paper, I haven't seen any comic strips.
The other significant contribution of a newspaper, yeah.
Most significant, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad what's happened in newspapers. I mean, I grew up in Milwaukee.
I don't agree. I think the newspapers deserve to go.
No, well, I don't.
They became more and more trashy over time. Tabloid journalism is exactly what you get all the time. Now, I'm not saying what we've got now with the internet is any better, but
some newspapers may have done that, but many did not. They eschewed a very high level of professionalism and fulfilled that responsibility very well. Their imagery was spectacular in the day, and their writing was very good. Their volume was very good. Local.
No, I agree. Back in the day, they were much better than they were, but they've gradually gotten worse and worse and worse.
Right,
and they even started getting worse before they lost readership.
Well, one of the biggest
but you don't know the newspapers I'm talking about that did not do that, that continued that professionalism throughout their entire lives, and even as now that they're dwindling to mini page meaninglessness, they're still as good as they can be with what they have to work with. They did not resort to sensational yellow journalism.
See, I'll give a couple of good examples of newspapers in the UK doing some damn good journalism. That would not we had one of the biggest scandals we ever had with our media was about 10 years ago. Was with all the stuff with the Murdoch newspapers came to light about the phone hacking stuff that they were doing. That was the methods that Murdoch's press were using to get stories. Now, if it was not for some very, very good work by journalists from The Guardian, that would never have come to light. And because a lot of other newspapers heard this story, or that weren't under the Murdoch, but were just not that interested in doing a deep dive into the extent of this. There was some damn good investigative journalism by The Guardian, and I have to give them credit for that. Similar thing when the MP's expenses scandal we had in the UK. I actually do have to begrudgingly give the Daily Telegraph some props of some very good journalism in exposing that, and staying the course, really making sure they got their facts right and bringing all that to light.
Well, I'm going to follow the others who have left early, and I'm going to see.
Okay,
Jen, you got anything before I start falling asleep?
You got anything you want to plug before you go?
Tomorrow night, my time, which is afternoon for you guys in the US, morning for people in the midday for people in the UK, and morning for people in the US. I believe Matt and I will be doing a stream, but I've got to confirm that with Matt because he's been really busy this week with his university stuff. So I have to confirm that. But even if Matt's not on, I may still do a Schrodinger's bathtub without him, because I got a couple of sciencey things I want to talk about anyway, so we might see where we go anyway. But there'll be something.
Okay, cool. See you later, Jem. Thanks for coming on.
Bye. Love yous.
Right.
Bye-bye, kiddo.
Bye.
Thanks. Okay, anybody else want to come in? If I know you, of course. All right. Hi, Min. What is it? Mindy. Good to see you.
Hi, Sassy.
Haven't seen you in a little while.
I think this is the first time I got to hang out with Godless Granny, though, isn't it?
I thought we were together on one of Critical Cripple's things. I'm not sure. It's possible because, I've certainly seen you in streams that I've been in the chat. I'm not sure if we've ever been together on a stream.
I can't remember, so it must have been too long.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome hanging out with you, though.
You too.
I love Granny.
I'm not a content creator, not yet anyway.
I've been trying to talk her into becoming lesbian. She just won't budge.
Need conversion therapy.
You've been trying to talk me into that, but it's the whole transitioning thing is the problem.
Well, you're just a lazy Brit. That's what I figure.
Well, actually, do you know one of the jokes Eddie Izzard used to tell for years is I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. And now, of course, was it a few months ago Eddie Izzard came out as trans?
Who was that? Who was that?
A comedian, Eddie Izzard. Comedian.
Eddie Izzard. Yeah.
Eddie Izzard is. Have anybody ever actually seen him on a production ever? Anywhere?
Yes.
Anytime?
It's her now, by the way. Her now with Eddie. But yeah.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
What was that one? What was that one TV show? The Witches. They were in that.
Okay, one. Eddie Izzard is not a spokesman for anything. For anything. I'm not talking just transgender stuff. The man has the person, has absolutely no background in anything. They're just this name it's a weird name, and so it's spoken a lot. But
they're a comic. I mean, they're a comedian.
I've never seen them do comedy ever.
That's how Eddie started. Was comedy, was stand-up comedy.
Yeah, they have lots of comedy specials.
Really?
Dress to Kill is one of the more famous ones, right?
Okay, well, I have to go look those up and get a view then.
Oh, yeah.
But I certainly don't remember anything about Eddie Izzard.
Oh, I've been an Eddie Izzard fan for quite a while.
I don't always agree. I mean, I don't always agree with things Eddie says. I mean,
yeah. I'm that way with every comedian, even my beloved George Carlin, my personal messiah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff he said over the years.
He knows what we're talking about here. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like a comedian as an American comedian who I absolutely loved was Bill Hicks. Yeah, he had some fucking awful takes on things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a funny guy. I didn't remember his name, but once you mentioned him and I went and looked him up and I realized, oh yeah, I've seen it. He's very funny. Indeed.
But yeah,
he was definitely ahead of his time too.
Oh, almost. I mean, the strange thing about Bill Hicks is that when he was alive, he was not he was never a big name in America, like during his lifetime, really. But he was massive in Britain. I mean, he was absolutely, yeah. I mean, he only did like theaters and concert halls in the UK, and then he'd go back to America and he'd be doing like tiny comedy clubs and stuff. And it was probably only right near the end of his life actually that it was just when he started to get popular in the America is the time that he got ill.
Yeah, I'd concur with that because I was going to say this whole time. I thought we were just seeing his career just beginning when he unfortunately fell to mortality. But
there's this one comedian.
I concur with that.
There's this one comedian I watch. They're very edgy, very contemporary kind of thing. His name is oh God, what is it now? Chappelle, Dave Chappelle. Anybody hear of him?
Jenny, are you taking the piss right now?
Just kidding.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jenny, you've been around the last couple of weeks.
It's really a shame. He used to be so funny. He really did good stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. For really, and Hicks was a good view of how the world operated, but some of his personal stuff was debatable. But he was a good comedian. Yeah, I mean, he had some bad takes on stuff, did Bill Hicks, but I think generally speaking, overall, he kind of got what the world, how the world operated to a good extent.
I think so. I always thought he was rather insightful. I can't personally think of any bad takes he's had, but I don't remember most of it.
Yeah, I mean, he could be. I think he could be a bit bloody sexist at times. That's the one thing I'd have with Bill Hicks is he could be a little bit misogynistic at times.
Well, back then, there a lot of comedy was very sexist. I mean,
yeah,
Jeff Foxworthy was getting his start around that time, and he's really always had sexist humor, to be honest, but not like toxically so. Well, I mean, maybe it's all toxic, but
I mean, no, it's probably it's more stuff that if you look back on it now doesn't stand up so well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, yeah. I've got to show this one. Yeah, Alex Jones is actually Bill Hicks. Facts. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has seen the pictures of a young Alex Jones when he was young. How similar he looked to Bill Hicks.
I remember that little. Was it ever like an actual conspiracy, or
I think it was. I think it probably was.
Or was it just a meme that they looked so much alike? Like, was it just a meme, or was there still actually a conspiracy theory about it?
Probably a little bit
there
of
were people who
both.
thought it was true. This is America, the land of the gullible idiot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately true.
That's why the Aussies send us all of their crazy people to be our evangelists.
Yeah. No. Let's talk about the Aussies now. They've left the room. Yeah. Because I'm going to say, what I mean, they send America, like people like Ken Ham and stuff like that, and then they send people like Rolf Harris to England. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know.
So what time we got here? I'm gonna have to go. I got some errands I need to run.
To be honest, Jenny, I might be wrapping this up in a few minutes anyway. So I'm going.
Our first
coming up in 2 hours now.
Our first frost of the season tonight is going to be expected to be a hard freeze. So the growing is over and winter's on its way.
It's supposed to be 80 degrees here on Sunday.
Yeah, well, we're still waiting to get out of the 30s here. It's 35 right now.
Well, I think I'll probably start wrapping the stream up anyway then, Jenny, because I'm coming up on 2 hours now anyway. So let's just go around. Jenny, you got anything you'd like to plug coming up?
I'd like to plug that everybody go watch Granny's Godless Granny stuff. She is
you.
Indeed. Has some really right on views and ways of dealing with stuff. I just, if you don't know, she's a lawyer, and and don't let that hold that against her. She's really something to watch, and you can learn a huge amount from her. I have, and I appreciate you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Jenny. That means a great deal to me because I've learned a lot of what I know about trans people from you.
Oh, no. I learned from you. Okay, this is our mutual admiration society. We made things with it.
Yeah, and I'm going to say thanks to this one, Trolley Dave. Absolutely, that's awesome. And by the way, on the channels that Dave is involved with, Answers and Reason, go and give them a check. Go and give them a sub also, because Answers and Reason is like the most criminally underrated channel on the internet right now. So, Granny, you got anything you'd like to plug?
I've got a video, a response to Alan Parr that's a bunch of misogyny. It will get released to my patrons later today, and it will go public tomorrow.
I'm sorry, I missed. Who's that on?
Alan Parr.
Oh, that's someone I don't know. I'm sorry.
He's a Black Christian apologist. He's got a stream called The Beat, and I'm responding to his claim that if your church has a female pastor, leave now.
Oh God.
Can I just say this? Can we not get too much into the details? Because I should just point out, Granny told us this stuff a little bit before you got in, Jenny, and I started banging my bloody head on my desk. Literally, it was God damn it,
It turns out in this area, this little rural area and small city of La Crosse, we have two different churches, two different denominations that are run or have trans women on the staff. One of them is run by a trans woman. One of the Lutheran facilities. How about that?
I did my undergrad in La Crosse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I lived there for 3.5 years. Did
you go to Riverfest and Oktoberfest?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you get drunk?
No, I was a believer. Well, actually, come to think of it, the last time I drank was then, but I don't think I ever got drunk in college.
Well, I'm just putting that link in the chat. Please go and subscribe to Answers and Reason if you haven't yet. They are very underrated. Doc, you got anything you'd like to give a shout out to coming up, or?
Well, I'm not a content creator myself, but I do often hang out on Purple Rhymes with Orange's channel, and so might as well plug that since I'm not there this time.
Purple is sweet.
Purple's awesome.
Oh, Perps is my baby.
Okay, cool. I don't know that I necessarily have anything. I've got nothing scheduled coming up because I think Media Musings on Ring's channel, I think, is on hiatus for this week. But I am going to ask people to go and subscribe to One Ring, whose link I'm going to put in the chat momentarily, because I'm trying to get Ring to 200 subscribers. They've been sort of around 180-ish for a while, and we want to get them to 200 subscribers at some point.
I wish we could subscribe twice.
Yeah. So other than that, yeah, I'll probably, because a lot of the time I do videos just reacting to stuff that sort of pops up on my radar, like what I did with fucking Otangelo or whatever a couple of weeks ago. But I don't have anything necessarily scheduled right now. So I'm just going to sign off and say thanks to everyone coming in today. Granny, Jenny, Doc, Polymathic Jen, Sinis, and Davros are popping into the stream. Thanks to everyone in the chat. And great. I actually managed to get through this without any of the fucking trolls that I was halfway expecting today. So I'm quite kind of happy with that. So she'll see you guys later. Okay. Salute.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
TTFN.